Good afternoon and welcome to the Homestead. My name is David Ford, and I'm here to discuss with you the biomimicry principle, life principle, of be resource efficient. The reason I say it like that, and I'm trying to be funny, is because I can't think of an organism that is more resource efficient than the bee. Typically, there's about 20,000 species of bees worldwide. About 4,000 of those species live here in the United States, and between 3 and 500 of those species live here in Iowa. I work with a variety of about 100 different species of bees. Most people are familiar with only 7 species of bees, and those are the honeybees. We depend on the bees out here on our regenerative farm as pollinators. We've got our food forest back here that was recently planted, and you'll notice that we've got some ground cover here that's called mill wrap, and our food forest is made up of hybrid chestnuts, non-typical apples, wild plum, elderberry, arona berry. We've got some raspberry and a variety of other brushes and trees in here that are all going to be dependent on those pollinators. So stick with us. We're going to discuss what a life principle really is, and then we're going to dig deep into be resource efficient.
Hey Dad, what are life principles?
Hey Gabby, that's a great question. Biomimics use life principles, and they're a set of guidelines derived from the success of living organisms that enable them to survive and flourish on Earth. These principles help us integrate nature's wisdom into our work and provide a framework of high standards to guide our choices. By adopting these principles, we can shift our mindset and strive towards creating more sustainable designs that meet these benchmarks.
Hey Dad, what life principle are we talking about today?
Hey Gabby, we're talking about the life principle of be resource efficient, and it's defined as skillfully and conservatively take advantage of resources and opportunities. Another way to look at it is creating something while minimizing waste, and it is in the same vein as making the most out of the least amount. Within the hive, bees need a simple, multifunctional compartment to act as a bee nursery and store honey and pollen. It wasn't until recently that researchers and beekeepers discovered the reason why bees prefer to construct their honeycombs in hexagon shapes. Despite the variety of shapes available, hexagons require the least amount of building material. Bees are known for their resourcefulness, and this allows them to minimize waste. It's clear that bees recognize the risks associated with inefficiency and waste well before humans did. So Gabby, in a hive, there's 3 types of bees. The worker bee, the drone bee, and the queen bee. Honeycomb is made from the beeswax that's created by the worker bee. When the temperature is just right, worker bees secrete wax scales from special glands in their bodies. They then chew the wax, mixing it with honey and pollen to produce beeswax. They then lay that beeswax out in a hexagon pattern, one layer at a time, until everything is built to the right height. They then place the brood inside. Now, a brood's nothing more, it could be one of 3 things, really. It could be either the eggs, the larvae, or the pupae. And in other sections of the comb, they store honey and pollen. Once the hexagon is completed, they use wax to seal the top. So just to put this all into perspective, they are minimizing waste by making only enough wax for what they need. They make the hexagon shape because it uses the least amount of energy and materials to make the wax. This makes the hexagon, little bee on me, this makes the hexagon comb very functional for all the storage needs of the hive, and there is no loss of efficiency or effectiveness.
Hey Dad, what's our human design?
Our human design example of being resource efficient is the construction of homes using 3D printing technology. A large-scale 3D printer is brought onto the construction site. After the initial setup, a conventional 2-dimensional blueprint is used to create a 3-dimensional CAD drawing. A worker then takes locally sourced material and mixes it into a hopper to create an injectable kind of concrete that hardens as it dries. The machine itself takes this design and creates a physical structure by gradually printing that locally sourced material in layers. By automating the building process, 3D homes can be built up to 20 times faster than traditional construction, significantly reducing the time and labor otherwise required. 3D printing also reduces the energy required to manufacture and transport building materials while providing improved energy efficiency. These factors combine to create significant savings, both tangible and non-tangible, for the homeowner and the environment. This machine is so efficient it calculates the exact amount of materials needed and uses nothing more, making the most out of the least amount. By choosing to be resource efficient, builders can reduce their overall impact on our planet, making the most out of available resources while minimizing waste. While ensuring that the functional needs are met, there is no sacrifice of effectiveness and efficiency. Thank you for listening to this video presentation on the biomimicry life principle of be resource efficient. I hope you learned something. I hope this piqued some curiosity. If you are curious or you'd like to learn some more, there are 25 additional biomimicry life principles that you can dig into. If you can't find any information, reach out. I'm happy to pass some of that information along to you. Or you can go to the Biomimicry 3.8 website. All you got to do is Google it. There's plenty of information on there to get you started on the adventure of biomimicry. I hope you learned something, and thanks again.